Hey folks, Bang Bang here. We're at the 2024 Rimfire World Championships. Michael Bane's one of the original people that actually brought this to be. That's why we're standing here. I kind of wanted him to talk a little bit about who he is, what he's done, where he's going, and what he sees the future for Rimfire. So Michael Bane, I give it to you, or Pete Swinson, you'd like to say a couple words?
I've been involved in the practical sports since the beginning. I'm one of the 8 people that sat at the table and created USPSA. I worked with Bill Wilson on launching IDPA. My friend Ken Jorgensen, who at that time was working for Ruger, he said, as a group, we're really good at specific sports, at narrow sports, the narrow end of the funnel, like USPSA or IDPA or fill in the blank, Steel Challenge, or even SAS. But what we're really bad at is the front part of the funnel. That's where people come in. He goes, we ought to create a sport that brings people into the sport, that's easy, low barrier to entry. We'll call it the Rimfire Challenge. So, cool. And basically, that was the beginning of the sport. Ken and I began working at the idea of what it would be. We didn't want it to be Rimfire Steel Challenge because that already existed. We called our friend Nelson Diamond, the late Nelson Diamond, great competitive shooter. He was shooting Rimfire in the West Coast. And we said, Nelson, you're a rules guy. You've written rules for like half a dozen different competitions. Why don't you come out here, we'll buy you dinner, alcohol, and beverages, and you can help us understand what the rules say. And then brought in also Tim Norris. And essentially, the 4 of us created the sport. The original bankers for 5 years. And then the National Shooting Sports Foundation took over for 5-6 years. And then they're an incubator. NSSF is an incubator. They launch sports, but they don't run sports. And so rather than let NSSF take the nonprofit, Ken Jorgensen and I took the sport back with funding from NSSF, created a nonprofit and launched it. And then eventually somebody who knew what they were doing took over the nonprofit. I think Pete is doing an extraordinary job. And I'm glad it's him doing it, not me.
And Pete, I know you probably got a few things that you would like to say because you've seen the bumps and bruises, and firsthand, you've lived it.
We've had some. If we hadn't had you guys with the vision, cocktails, we wouldn't be here today.
Cocktails are so critical.
And this is just a great sport. You guys had a vision. It's affordable. It's family friendly. Fun. It's a great combination. I personally thank you guys for that. Thank you for helping me and mentoring me in this endeavor.
Well, I can't thank you enough. And make sure you look him up on any of social media platforms or his TV shows.
MichaelBane.tv.
There you go.
I'm the hardest person in the world to find.
And I'm going to challenge each and every one of you, and I think Mike is going to agree with me on this one. If you really, truly love and are passionate about what you believe in, then make it happen. And what I mean by that is promote it. Get out there and move it. So bring somebody new to the sport. A child, maybe not a child, but an older kid, a youth that can handle it, that they've been taught properly. Bring an adult. You know what? Bring another lady to the sport. We need more women in the sport. We need more youth because sooner or later we're not going to be here. But Mr. Swinson, thank you very much for what you do. Mr. Bane, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
And I think one more thing just to add is that you can pretty much do anything you want. My career is a collection of hundreds, maybe thousands of people explaining to me that I could not do what I did. If you're even thinking about shooting a sport, come to this one. People here will loan you guns. People here will loan you ammunition. You'll see wow, I can be a part of something big.